Okay, let's come onto the mat. Let's come onto the mat and child's pose. So as you set your hips back towards your heels, your hands can come forward, and I'm going to rock side to side, keeping the head a little bit lifted and the eyes looking forward. Walk hands left, walk hands right. Come back in the middle. So your hands are shoulder width apart, and then pull your body forward into table. And in your tabletop, pull your right elbow back behind you and slide the arm right behind your left wrist until your ear can meet the floor. And then press into your left hand to come back up and draw the right elbow back. Slide it under and pull it back. Last time, slide it under and pull it back. And then we'll just bring the right hand to shoulder distance apart and pull the left elbow up. So this is the same on the other side. Left arm slides behind the right wrist, ear to the floor. You press into the right arm, left elbow draws back. Under and back. And under and back to table. Cat cows. We can do a wiggle side to side, maybe even figure eights or barrel rolls. Just taking your time to move your spine in all directions. Right, walking your knees a little bit further back. Shift the hip forward towards a kneeling plank. Pull your hips back towards your heels. And just keep your hands where they are. Don't let them slide back. So you might not be able to get your hips to your heels. Come forward towards that kneeling plank. Hips as forward as you can without sagging. And then hips to the heels. Last time, we're going to come forward and just stay in the forward position and hold. So the front of your hips are pressing forward. Core is tight, arms are straight, chest is wide. Slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your front. Swim the legs back so the front of your hips are smooth against the floor. Bring your hands forward so they're more under your shoulders. And then push into your hands and see if you can come up to some kind of a cobra. If it's too deep, right, if you're feeling any kind of tension through your low back, just bring your hands more forward. So I want you to come into a cobra that feels easy enough, right? We're not going for our max yet. Little wiggle side to side. So perhaps you feel a stretch of the obliques just above the hips and side to side. And then slowly lower yourself. And if it feels right, walk your hands a little bit further back. So maybe a hand length closer towards you. We're going to go again. So coming up, maybe arms just as straight and a little wiggle side to side. But now as I wiggle side to side, I'm going to add a little bit more of a twist element. So it's like I'm turning my chest. And again, I'm feeling the sensation for me at the obliques, the side waist, just above the hip bone. And of course, if it feels too intense through your back, you should just keep your hands more forward. And then ease down. Hands closer still. And lifting up. See if you can lift your thighs and find a bit of upward dog. Just pause first. Maybe soften the elbow crease just the tiniest bit. And then pull your belly button in and flip over the feet and get yourself into downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, you're going to turn the toes to the left. So you're on the inner edge of the left, outer edge of the right, and still pull your hips back. So it's still downward dog shape, that sharp inverted V. Bend your right knee, so you're going to roll more to the ball of the foot, and then lift your left palm. So it's just fingertips of the left hand. You might even be gazing at this point underneath the left arm. And as I draw the outer left hip back, get a really big side stretch. And then back through center, turn your toes to the right. So your inner edge of right foot, outer edge of left foot, hips up and back, first downward facing dog. Bending left knee, you're gonna roll more to the ball of the left foot. And then that's turning your torso to the right. Right palm lifts off the floor and you gaze under the arm. Right outer hip is pulling backwards. And back in the middle, downward facing dog. Long breath in, long breath out. From downward dog, we're going to bring the right knee to touch the left arm. So if you can't quite touch the arm, that's okay. Just go as close as you can. Shoulders will shift the wrist. And then place it down to downward facing. We'll switch left knee to right arm and cross shoulders over wrists. And then step it back, downward dog. 2 more sets. Right knee to left arm. Try to move with control. So if you find that you're using a lot of momentum, see if you can cut that out to really feel the work. Left knee. And back. Right knee. Back. Left knee. And back. Pause here. Of course, if you feel you need more rest or you need to come down in a child's pose, then do. Walk the feet or step jump, up to you, behind the wrist so that you're at least a hip width apart with the feet. At least a hip width apart. And sink down into your low squat. And it can be tail tucked under low squat. If you have a lot of trouble with deep squat, you can slide some blocks underneath your hips so you're almost like doing a little bit of a low sitting. So you can slide your right shoulder just to the inside of the right knee. Left hand on the left thigh. So not so much on the knee, but kind of on the inner thigh. And just push it away, turning your chest to the left. You might hear some bones realigning and cracking. So I still want the knees to be driving outward. Come back in the middle, slide your left shoulder more towards the inside of your left knee. Right hand on the right inner thigh. Go ahead and push it away. Think of widening and expanding the chest to create space. And if it's possible, you might even be turning your chest more to the right. And then just coming back through center, hands on the floor, fingertips perhaps, and go ahead and straighten your legs. If your feet are not parallel, turn it so that the toes are facing forward. Right hand, again, could be on a block or maybe fingertips directly underneath the face, so in front of you. You're gonna bend the right knee, left leg stays straight, left heel stays on the ground if possible, and peel yourself open. If it feels good, keep the hand in line with the shoulder and turn the chest more open to the sky. Your hand will lean further back. So I don't want you to drop the arm behind you. I want to keep the arm in line with the chest, but if you turn the chest more, the hand will pass the vertical line. Okay, close it up, replacing right hand with the left hand. Could be on your block again. Bend your left knee, sweep your right arm up, and first find fingertips straight up to the ceiling. And find that right heel on the ground, right leg is straight. Breathe, crown reaches forward. If it feels good, see if you can rotate more through the chest, and the hand will lean back as well. Go ahead and close it up. Pedal the feet a little, and you're gonna fold in half. So if you want to keep it relaxed, we'll just hook the elbows and dangle forward, possibly even with a bend or soft bend in the knee. I'm sending a bit of weight forward. If you want to hold onto your ankles and or hold onto your toes and fold that way, it's totally okay. A little bit more effort there. And then pressing into your feet. Inhale, reach your hands up over your head. Exhale, hands to heart. Just close your eyes, take a moment, feeling your body tall and upright. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, lengthen heart forward. Hands down, step it back, plank pose. So I'm going to add in a little flow. If you don't want to flow, you want to modify it by all means. Lower halfway or all the way. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. With the right knee, go ahead and touch your left arm. Trying to touch at least. Straighten your left leg on the floor. So it'll be off of your mat out to the side. Turn your left heel in and reach your right arm up. Left hand down. Bring your right foot back to downward facing dog. Left knee touches right arm. Come forward, shoulders over wrist. And then straighten the left leg. Turning right heel to the ground, right arm reaches up. Right hand comes to the mat. Step back, feet in downward facing dog. Long breath in, long breath out. And shift your body forward. If you're adding flow, lower halfway or all the way. Upward facing and downward facing. Right foot steps to right hand. Left knee to the floor. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to your right, arms wide. Sweep the right arm forward and both arms up. Exhale, twist, facing right. Right arm sweeps forward, both arms come out. Last time, twisting right, stay here on your right. Widen the arms more. Make sure that you're vertical through the torso. Option to bring the right hand down and left arm more up. So I'm concentrating on the lift of the left arm to really feel the pull on the front of the left hip, left side body. And then both hands sweep to the floor. Step it back, downward dog. I'm going to go right away to the other side. Left foot steps, right knee down. So kneeling lunge. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to your left. Arms are wide. That's it. Left arm sweeps forward, both arms are up. Exhale, twist. And try to stretch the arms as wide as you can. Good, left arm sweeps forward, both arms are up. Twist and hold. Trying to keep the torso upright, the front leg stacked. Option here to add some back bend. Right arm reaches up, feeling the front of the right hip open. Make sure you're still staying in the lunge. Both hands to the floor. We'll step back, downward dog, flowing. All right, right foot steps to the right hand again. Left knee down, inhale, arms up. Twist right, open arms. Reach up with the left, down with the right. And then as the left elbow comes down to the outside of the knee, right hand stacks on top of left hand. Hands at heart as you twist to look over your right shoulder. Just stay here on the left knee. As an option, open the arms. So the left fingertips might come to the floor outside of the right foot. You could have a block under the left hand. Right arm reaches up to the sky, arm straight, hand is above the shoulder. As you look down to the floor, bring your fingertips ahead of the right foot. So I want the hands maybe 10 inches or so shoulder width apart ahead of the front foot. I want to step into the right foot and just lift the left leg straight back and up. Hug your right outer hip back. Of course, you might have blocks under your hands if you need them. And if it makes sense, turn out with the left foot, lift it higher. Option A, stay here with left hand on the floor. Option B, take your left hand up. You might look up. This is half moon pose. A strong outer right hip. As you look down to the floor, step your left foot way back. Reverse warrior. Right arm reaching back, your front knee stays bent. And then both hands to the mat. We're coming down for plank, low plank. If you need to take a break, might just be in child's pose. You might modify your flow. And then just take a couple breaths in down dog. With the left foot, we'll step to the left hand and put the right knee down. So it's kneeling lunge. Coming up, twist left, arms wide. Reach up with the right arm, pressing front of right hip forward. Elbow outside knee. option to open the arms or stay where you are. Right hand could be on a block. You might stay with hands at heart. Now unwind, reaching the arms forward. Maybe as far as you can reach with straight arms and fingertips or possibly on blocks. As you step into your left foot, you're going to lift the right leg up. Find your balance. Make sure you're well balanced through the left foot. You might need to stay here. Start to turn your hip open to the right. And of course, you can keep your right hand on the floor. If it feels right, the right hand will lift as well for half moon pose. As you bend the left knee, reach the right foot way back, coming up, warrior two, and then reverse. So making sure the front knee stays bent even as you reverse. Both hands sweep to the floor, and we step back, downward facing plank, low plank, upward and downward. Take a few breaths. As you look to your hands, step walking or jumping behind the wrists. Lift your chest and fold in. Squat low. So again, coming down. Okay. So right shoulder is going to nudge down to the inside of your right knee. So again, you're turned. Couple options. You can repeat what we had last time where you had your left hand on your left inner thigh and you're pushing that leg away to create this twist or this open twist. Otherwise, see if you can lean in. If it's possible for you, you can reach your right arm straight, turn the palm to face back and bind around the right bent leg. So as the arm goes back, your left hand comes behind you and you'll hold on to the left wrist. Now, as you are here, it might feel like your left knee wants to cave in. Try to keep it open. Lean your chest back. Go ahead and release. You're going to do the other side. So you're going to nudge your left shoulder towards the inside of your left knee. If you need to take a break, you need to straighten your legs for a moment, that's okay. Again, option to bring your right hand to your right inner thigh and just push the leg away. Maybe the arm straightens. Turn the palm back. Catch the right wrist inside of the left hand. Rolling the chest open to the right. Knees are still wide. Go ahead and release your bind. Forward fold. Take a moment. And if in your forward fold, your toes are turned out, you want to adjust so that your toes point forward. Press into your feet. Inhale, stand up, hands over your head, and then hands to heart. Close your eyes and just take a moment. Breathe. Inhale, arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Hands down, plank. low plank, upward facing, and downward facing. You're going to bring the right knee towards your left arm. So just like we've been doing, shifting your weight a bit forward when you do that. Turn onto the inside of your left foot and see if you can keep your knee up at your chest and lift your left hand. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand down. Keep the knee at your chest. Roll to the outside of your left foot. Right arm up. So you can keep the knee at the chest. If you want to point the knee up to the sky, that's also an option. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the right toes come to the floor behind you. Push the hips towards the sky and the right arm over ear. I like to look down at my left hand. And then right hand meets the floor. Plank to low. Upward facing. Downward facing. So we're going to do this on the other side. You can take your time. If you need to break it up, that's good. Left knee to right arm. Shoulders shift a little forward. You're going to turn the inside of your right foot to the floor, keeping your knee lifted to the chest, right arm up. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right hand down. Come to the outside of your right foot. Left hand up. And just find your balance. Maybe the knee stays at the chest. Maybe the knee turns open. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow the toes to touch down. Press the hips up. Left arm over ear. And then left hand to floor. You're back in plank and low. Upward facing. Downward facing. You might rest. Take your time. With your right foot, step forward to your right hand. Come into high lunge. So the back knee stays off the floor for high lunge. Front knee's over the ankle. Arms are long and straight. Twist to your right and bend your left knee. So it gives you a little bit of slack to find the twist. Right arm down, left arm up. So your right hand might find the back of your left thigh. You might straighten the back leg if you really want to deepen the stretch at the front of the left hip. Elbow, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Hands at heart, twisting. And you can always modify by putting the back knee down if you're having trouble with balance. Look down to the ground, don't lose your twist. You're going to take your left hand, reach it forward of your left shoulder and step into your right foot, lifting left leg, lifting right arm. So you're in a revolved half move. Means you're twisting. Left hand down, right hand up. Try to hold. And as you look down to the ground, step your left foot way back. Sweep both arms forward and up. High lunge. Taking a pause just to reset your body. Turn your left heel down and open the arms, warrior two. Reverse, right arm reaches back and both hands to the floor. Stepping back, adding flow if it feels right. Take a moment or two to breathe. And the left foot's coming forward to a lunge. Make sure you're feeling good about your spacing. You can always adjust once you're in your lunge, especially if you feel your stance is short. Twisting to the left, arms wide. I'm softening my right knee so I can really get into the twist, right? If I keep the right leg straight, I won't be able to turn quite as much. From here, right arm up, left hand might find the back of my right thigh. Now, if I want to get deeper into the front of the right hip, I'm going to work more to straighten the left leg. Keep reaching. And then the elbow searches for the outside of the knee. Hands to heart center as you twist. Looking down to the floor, keep your twist. Right hand is going to reach forward on the mat, maybe on a block, and you step into your left foot, lifting left arm. This is revolved half moon. Try to think of straight lines through the limbs. Returning from the chest. As you look down to the ground, step your left foot way back and sweep both arms forward. Take a moment in a high lunge to reset. Warrior two, the right heel comes down. Open. Reverse. Hands to the floor. Step back. Plank. Low plank. Upward facing. And downward facing. Bring the right knee to the right wrist for pigeon. And then left knee meets the floor. And you just knees open. So in your pigeon, just face forward. Reset, or I should say just square yourself. So right hip back, left hip forward. And then come down onto elbows or a little bit lower. And when you go down, just make sure that you're still pulling the right hip back. See if you can put your right elbow right in the middle of the floor in front of you. So your right elbow just comes to the middle. Yep. And then hands come to heart. You're doing this open twist. Keep reaching the crown forward. Okay, come back in the middle and go tall. We're going to change sides. So hands on the floor, palms flat, tucking left toes under. If you can, see if you can slide your right knee up your right arm before taking it back to down dog. So knee comes up the arm in plank and then back to down dog. Option to add in flow, plank, low, upward, and downward. And then we go the other side. So left knee will come towards the left hand. Adjust as you need, right knee down. I like to start tall to find the squaring. And also just being upright allows the weight of my body to sink more over the hip. When you're ready, come onto your elbows. And again, left hip back, right hip forward. The left elbow will come to the floor right underneath you, right in front. So as you move your left elbow, point to the mat, bring your hands to your heart, and stretch your chest forward. You're looking maybe to the right or even up over your shoulder. Bringing your hands back to the floor. Palms flat about a shoulder's width apart. Right toes tuck under. Left knee is going to slide up the left arm in your plank position before going to downward dog. So right leg straightens, pull it up from the navel, and downward facing dog. Option to add in flow plank, low, up, and back. And come forward to the hands. You can hop, you can step, you can jump. You lift your chest up halfway and exhale to fold. Inhale, stand up, hands to heart. So we're going to incorporate our hip opening and our balance and possibly add in some twist. So the amount of twist will be up to you. Just going as far as you feel you can still maintain balance. Of course, feel free to use whatever props make sense. And if you fall out, no big deal. So left leg grounds. And I'm going to take my right ankle and cross it over the left knee. I'm going to go to figure four. It's almost like you're balancing pigeon, or the idea of pigeon. Just find it. Lean your chest forward and your bum back. Take a moment to find the balance. If it makes sense, bring your right elbow towards your right sole of foot, or maybe right fingertips to floor and left arm up. Now, as you twist, try to use the arm to push the foot outwards or back so that the knee reaches more to the right, and you'll feel more hip stretch. As you look down at the floor, you'll bring your hands around front and come back up. Step the right foot down. So I'll do the same on the other side. I'm just going to turn around so I can still face you once I'm twisting. You're going to be grounding down into the right foot, and left ankle crosses over the right knee. Take a seat And if the twist is just too much, you just work on this hip opener. And give yourself a moment or two to settle in, making sure you feel stable before we add anything else. You might bring your left elbow towards the sole of the left foot, or even left fingertips to a block or to the floor. And as you do, the right arm can reach up and the chest can lean back. And the arm provides resistance for the foot so that the knee still reaches out to the left. And when you're ready, hands can come back down to the mat in front of you, and then we'll stand up. So back at the front of the mat, inhale tall, exhale full. This is your last flow if you're choosing to do this. Inhale long, hands to the mat, we'll step back. So lower with control, upward facing, and downward facing. I'll look to my hands, I'll step, walk, or jump. You can come to seated, and then go ahead and lie down. So if you want the bonus work, you might roll back with control. Once you get down to the ground, relaxing, feeling your body completely supported by the mat. And then step my feet onto the floor, preparing for bridge. So in bridge, you might be able to bridge your heels. I actually prefer the feet a little forward in that position. Press into the arms, press into the feet, and reach the knees forward, lifting the hips. Come back down with the hip. Breath in, out. Do it again, pressing into your feet. Hips. If you want to place the hands beside the head and lift to a wheel pose, you're welcome to. Make sure that while you are in bridge, you're pressing into the full foot, not just the heels. Allow yourself to come back down to the floor. Take a moment. One more back bend. And of course, if you're doing wheel, you take your time. You can stay as long as you want, or you can go up and come right back down. So not worrying too much about how long you're holding. Let's do one more back bend. Come on down. We're just in neutral. And take the arms wide. Take the knees up. And then drop the knees to the right, looking left. So if you want a deeper twist, right, try your best to bring that left hip to stack right over the right. So that might mean thinking of getting the left knee to cover more of the right knee. Change. So as the knees come back to center, knees go to the left, pulling the right knee to cover more of the left knee. And back at center, give some squeeze. Now release the legs out long, maybe to the corners of the mat, letting the feet fall open and the hands rest on up. If there's an alternative position that you prefer to take for your final Shavasana, if you prefer to be in a seated meditation for a few moments to close this practice, you might sit up instead. And so just allowing everything to relax, bringing that awareness inwards, seeing if you can hold on to that stillness that awareness back to your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, rotating wrists and ankles, stretching arms and legs. Maybe the knees float to the chest and you roll to the side. From your side, coming up to sit. Thank you so much for sharing your day with me. Thank you for your energy, for practicing yoga, and especially for all of your efforts. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.